it would of course go a lot faster, but that's fine. We can get like a little bit of like an arm workout going. So I have this gigantic block of cheese, and maybe it's sad, but we'll go through that in a week. So I just cut off a piece of it, if I can. And then I grate. It's easier to hold this and grate it than grating that whole big thing. So that's about how much I'll grate. I'm going to take off this chicken, put it onto, I'm going to turn the heat down to low, and I'm just going to take this off of here and let it sit just for a second so all the juices, so when we eat our chicken it's going to be nice and juicy. But I am going to cut it up and mix it with this this tomato, onion, red pepper mixture, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to just let this sit down, or not sit down, just sit here for a second. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil into here, and I'm going to put this mixture that initially cooked in here back inside into the pan. So it's just really hot. This is all cooked all the way through, but there we have that, and it's off. The pan is just still hot from before. And now I'm going to cut up the chicken into pieces that can fit inside a taco. So I'm using this, what's it called, tongs? Yeah. And so I'm just holding the chicken, and I'm just going to cut it into little pieces. And I like that it doesn't cut off and it's not in like little square cubes. It's sort of shredded almost. And it's just how the knife, I don't press down too hard, and it's sort of just how the knife breaks it apart. And then once a piece is cut, I can put it back in with this mixture. Again, the heat is off right now. I'll probably warm it up right before dinner because I still have some things to do, the cheese to shred. And this is actually something that can sit for a while and maybe even get a little bit more flavorful when you let it sit in its mixture for a while. So I'm just going to continue cutting these, and then come back. I'm going to shred the cheese with my box grater, or grate the cheese. What do I keep saying that for? And then I'll see you back here in a second.
How much time between next? How much time until you have something more to say?
Like a couple minutes. I just want to grate the cheese.
So now here's what we have to do, because if it's only that much, I want you to fill and learn the art of filling by talking.
I just filled for so long.
But we want people to real time cook to this. So while that's cooking, whether it's explaining it to about anything, I mean, it's part of, I'm not, you're not going to turn into Rachel Ray, and I don't want to be, but just those things like why you use that cheese, anything that you want to just fill with, and then you can go back to what you're just physically doing. But you have to get a little philosophical. So let's just try that, like whatever it might be. Why you like it, healthy, Mexican, I don't know, whatever comes to mind. And, okay, action.
All right, so I'm not done grating this cheese. I used a block. You could get cheese that's already grated, but this, you don't know how long it's been in the plastic bag and grated, and it's just more flavorful, but I totally use the bag cheese. It's better than, ordering out or something. So those things are great, and you could put this in a food processor and that would make it go a lot faster, but it's fine. I sort of like doing it. It's sort of like chopping. Some people want to, chop things faster, but when I have the time, obviously after work and on a school night, you don't want to be chopping vegetables for hours, but I find it quite therapeutic. So, and then of course I use chicken, but you could make beef, pork is great. The easiest or quickest is fish. You could throw in a mahi-mahi or something that's sort of sturdy. You always see those those mahi mahi fish tacos. I mean, they're delicious. Okay, and that's a lot of cheese. I really don't even need that much. Well, maybe my husband will. But I've already grated it, and so whatever I don't use, I'm gonna put up in a Tupperware and put away, because we'll use it during the week and on pizzas and whatever else. So now it's just about what we're filling this into. And again, you can have sides of corn and rice, some beans. Like I said, I don't have any. So me and my son like these soft corn tacos, which for some reason my husband thinks, I don't know, that they're the worst things in the world. But so I have a gas oven, and I just put it right on, oven stove. I'm like totally spacing that. I put it right onto my burner here on the stove, and it takes a second to heat up, but I just put them on there. You can lift up and see how it's going. I'm gonna grab a plate up here. Oopsie. I'm gonna grab a plate, and I'm just gonna prepare one of these. And so in here there was tomatoes, red peppers, garlic, onion, cumin, salt and pepper, and some cilantro. I'm gonna add a little cilantro. And as I cut all these things up, I actually left a little bit raw. So I cut up an onion to throw in here, but then I also take about half the onion. I cut up about 2 onions, so a half of one I put into here. Then I have cilantro, which is also in here, but I left some raw. And then tomatoes, when I was cutting up the tomatoes, I also left some raw. So everyone can add that freshness to the salad, where it's the raw stuff keeps it crunchy and just gives it a little bit different texture. So now I'm done. There's just a little bit of burnt pieces, and it becomes a little harder when you cook it, so it's not going to fall apart so much. And then I just place the filling. That's pretty much enough filling for me. And then I'm going to put some raw onions, which I love to death. And then some cilantro, which I love as well. Some fresh tomatoes. There's tomatoes cooked in there and onions, but it just gives it a different, cooked onions and raw onions taste different. Same with tomatoes, same with pretty much everything that's cooked in. And then the last thing I'm gonna do, which I make whenever, or it ends up happening that I'm making Mexican for dinner, our after school snack, or the major one, is guacamole with some pita chips or regular chips. And so I already made that, and I put tin foil on the rest of it that I don't need. And then here is one corn taco. Enjoy. Maybe I'll try it. It's good, but of course, I totally forgot. Hot sauce. Mexican food. Well, to me, every food needs hot sauce, but certainly do I not have any? Uh-oh. Now what, Daddy?
Looks like you better eat it Irish style. Irish style.
Irish style? I'm not gonna cut it, but, ooh, okay. So I thought I didn't have any, and so I have different hot stuff for different foods. So I was gonna use this. This is, I never can pronounce it. Sriracha, I pronounce it, but there's an A at the end, so sriracha. It's more of an Asian spice or hot sauce. And so I use it for, Chinese food and Japanese food and stuff like that. Dumplings. But this is my Mexican hot sauce, it's called Melinda's, but it's XXX extra. So it's extra hot, but really it's not that hot. But I mean, it is, but I just like a lot of hot food. So that's what it was missing, but you could squeeze some lime. There's lime in the guacamole. I don't have any more left, but sometimes I squeeze lime on top. You can add cabbage, is a good lettuce to have in here. I don't really have anything. Of course, add whatever you like, other kinds of cheeses. That's more like it. It is perfectly yummy and healthy. There's, tons of raw things in there, and chicken, and cooked onions, and what's bad in Mexican food is the oil and the tons of cheese, and we really didn't use that much cheese in this or oil, so pretty healthy. All right, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.
You just want to keep eating it.
I know, I'm like, can you stop so I can finish?